Hi, everybody. It's been a while since I've done a cozy mini review, but I finally read Cursed Cocktails by S.L. Rowland. The funny thing about this, so I actually received this copy from Ingram Spark directly because I am an Ingram Spark reviewer, and this book was in Spiffbo with me this last year and was in my group with Kitty G. And when I first saw the lineup of what was in my group, I was like 100% sure this would be the finalist for Kitty G, but I was very blessed and she chose me. And now I finally have read it, and I thought this was fantastic. I am not a huge fan of like legends and lattes, so this falls into the realm of like a cozy fantasy with a main character trying to start a business in a small town and found family situation. Legends and latte didn't do for me what this book did. This is exactly what I wanted, almost. There's only one thing that I not necessarily like, but like would have liked more of in this book, and that's romance. So we'll get to that in a second. For a while, I was also confused. Well, not confused, but like my assumptions was that this was because the main character. This is our main character of Roran, who is a blood mage elf, and he is retired from his service in the military, and because of his work now has like some chronic pain from that, and so he is advised to go south, basically go to the Florida of this land. It's warmer climate, it'll be easier on him and stuff, but he is keeping that a secret overall. And he meets Callum while he's there. Callum is a bartender, and it is Roran's dream, not his dream, his father's dream, to have opened a tavern, but his father passed away a long time ago, and he has his father's cocktail recipe book. And so together, the two of them team up to make this tavern in this little town, and it's very, very fun. It has even though this book is pretty short, right? It's only like 280-ish pages. It does a really good job pacing wise for the character growth and the plot growth. Like with cozy fantasy, the plots are pretty small in general, and like it has more of the plot is surrounding Roran and building this tavern and the connections that he's making around. Like we have these two kids that he gets kind of invested in and kind of somewhat takes care of because their father is kind of absentee because he's a sailor, he's off doing stuff. We have a few other fun side characters as well that all kind of band together, and there is actually a larger epic climax in the end of this that helps kind of bridge the gap of feeling like the outsider and becoming one of the town, which is one of my favorite tropes. And this really hit it very, very, very well. I just would have liked the romance to be a little bit more because for a while I wasn't totally sure if this was even going to have a romance between our guys here, and it was more like we're just really, really close friends. It was like, is this a historian thing of where they were best buds, but maybe there's something more, but it's just not on the page. And there really is no like on-page kiss. There's some like hand holding. There's like kisses on foreheads and stuff, which are very, very cute. Very, very soft, quiet moments, which is a choice that it still worked for the overall vibe of the book. I just would have liked a little bit more like definitive, yes, we are a couple situation. Would have been nice. But I do know that this is the beginning of a series. I don't know if we're going to see our characters in this one again, because the second one is different characters. So there's 4 books out currently. I am definitely going to read them all. I'm so glad that I got my chance to read this, and I understand Kitty G's struggle in choosing between my book and S.L. Rowland's book, because they're both very, very different. And I'm not saying that mine is better because reading is subjective, but I understand the struggle because, of course, I love my book, but I also really love this book as well. So I can see how that would have been a very difficult decision. And if it were me, obviously I wouldn't have picked my own book because that would be a weird judgment. But like, I knew this book was going to be up there in the competition, and I knew previously, like, I had heard about this book and I'm like, I'm probably gonna like this book. It seems like it's something I'm going to like. But because I didn't really care for Legends and Lattes, I was like, more, maybe the cozy, very quiet fantasies are for me. No, I think it was just a difference in Travis Baldry's writing and S.L. Rowland's writing. I think this writing is stronger, in my opinion. You may disagree, but overall, definitely loved this book. And if you are participating in Herkyed, then you can know that this, well, at least, is a semifinalist in the awards prompt. It's queer rep. There is a cat. There's also a spirit fox in this, and a kraken. We have elf. Obviously, he is an elf. He's a dark elf. If you're doing spooky creatures, I'm trying to think what else this would cover for in Herkyed, but there's a lot. I think it's predominantly an orange or yellow cover. It's at least a 7, the multicolor prompt that way. It was published in 2023 for the last 10 years. It's under 300, so if you need a 200 or 299 page book, what else would this cover? There's so many prompts that this book actually covers, and it's a very quick read. I did also find that the audiobook is on Everand, so if you are an Everand subscriber, you can also listen to it on audiobook there. It's great. It's just so nice, and it's like, this is actually what I want out of cozy, like on the level of how much I love the Spell Shop and the Enchanted Greenhouse, that level of coziness. But like, those books had more of the romance, which I really, really love, but I would definitely put this in the same categories in terms of prose writing and how good the character development is. So definitely don't sleep on this one. It's excellent, deserves a lot more hype, and I just really, really, really liked it. So